Oh, I think we're on, Mark.
Are we on?
Yes.
You sure?
No. If somebody can tell us we're on, that would be really useful because this is all kind of new to us. So, hello, Julia. Evening. And me mum, yeah, and Marcel. I think it's all working, so that's cool. Okay. So we've had a load of questions sent to us, so we're going to try and get through as many of these as possible. So feel free to ask as we go along as well. Just not too difficult questions, please. Right then, this is from,
hey, I don't know how many people are.
Okay, what should
yes, it's working. There we go.
Hey, thank you.
That's good. What does that mean? All that stuff going across there. I've seen this before.
Okay. Right then, do you want to start?
Not really.
Okay. This is from Martin. The first question of the evening is mixing / mastering really a dark art as it seems?
The dark art as it seems.
As it seems, sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult. We can get records to a point. We try our best. We know a reasonable amount about it, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is with mixing, I think when you're working on tracks like we do and you've been listening to them over and over again, you know, for hours on end, I think it's really nice to go somewhere else to get it mixed, and I think that's the key to success. So, you know, we obviously use well, not use, that's the wrong word. You know, we work with Olaf, so when he first hears it, he probably can kind of pick out faults with the mixes, and so I think that's why we do that kind of thing. So yeah, it is a bit of a dark art, but I think it's kind of glaringly obvious if it's something new to you. So yeah, and with mastering, I have no idea what goes on.
No, mastering's impossible.
I don't know what that is. Yeah, no, that is certainly a dark art. That is, I think so. Yeah.
I mean, there's loads of tools that you can use to make things louder, but especially with the changes with Apple at the moment, loudness is not necessarily the best way to go. But yeah, that's impossible. We don't even know what stuff they use.
No,
they just plug it into something, don't they?
I guess so. Yeah.
Use skills and magic and things.
Mm-hmm. Right then.
So yes, it's really hard and dark.
Esther, she wants to know: will you go on tour with this classic album?
We'd like to do that.
It would be nice, but no, unfortunately. I think you know, it's an amazing experience to do what we've done, I think, with the orchestra, but no, not at the moment. I mean, you know, never say never. If the chance comes along and we could possibly do something like that, I think we'd love to do it. But at the moment,
it'd be great.
That's a kind of no. So
we'd love to do it. It was an amazing thing to do, but it's it's a completely different logistical problem, really, to do it on that sort of scale. Really, yeah. You can't really have a small orchestral concert, can you? Really?
Not really.
No, it's not easy because otherwise the musicians outnumber the audience. So no, probably not. But fingers crossed. Hopefully. Okay. Are you listening to your own music in your private time?
Being a musician, you should say, "Oh, no, I don't ever do that." But unfortunately, I do. So yes is the answer to that. I do listen to it, but it's generally with a kind of critical ear, and I think it's you know, you're trying to pick fault with it, not on purpose, but I think it's the way to move forward. You know, I listen to some of the old albums, and you know, you can kind of realize what was possibly wrong, and you know, and I think it's a kind of good learning curve when you start listening to your own stuff back, and yeah. Some of it I enjoy. The last 3 albums I really enjoy. You know, I think they come together as complete albums. Some of the earlier albums I can pull to pieces, but you know, that's how it was, isn't it?
I enjoyed listening to it later when it's kind of the memory of recording it's faded away. I think that's the problem. I think you hang on to a lot of problems and issues and difficulties that you had when you made the record. And I think once you've almost forgotten about those, you can kind of enjoy it. And obviously the reason you wrote it in the first place is because you enjoyed it. So it's music that that I enjoy. So, but yeah, once I've forgotten all the issues.
Where have you gone?
I'm behind that That's the sort of thing.
Try and stay on the
No,
camera.
I think that thing.
Okay.
If they don't see that thing,
Yeah.
whatever that is, that box.
Okay. Andreas. Hello, Andreas. We know Andreas. When is the release day of the live DVD stroke Blu-ray? I can't wait. Well, unfortunately, Andreas, you're going to have to wait because I'm still mixing it. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done with that. We've got all the video footage. We've got all the audio, but it's one huge task to put all this together. So I'm working on it now. Mark's going to be working on the video very soon. So it will be next year.
Yeah. So to clarify, I'm not actually working on the video.
No. But all the
bits and pieces.
Bits, yeah, the bits
so we
and
got,
pieces. Sorry,
we obviously got the live DVD itself. So that was all recorded by a crew over 3 venues. They've broken the back of it, really. Probably, I don't know, 80%. And
it does look really good. Yeah,
the
we are
done.
pleased with everything that's kind of been sent to us. It does look kind of quite energetic and well filmed, and so yeah, we're looking forward to doing it. But it is a kind of monstrous task, really. I think it'd be nice if somebody just took it on and we didn't have to do it. But we're kind of
that's not going to happen.
Us control freaks, we try to do it all. So this is from Amy or Amy, I suppose. I don't know. Do you guys have any animals? Cats, dogs, cows, and pigs?
No pigs.
No pigs. No cows. I've got 2 dogs. One called Roxanne and we've just got another one called Eddie as well. And they're 2 border terriers. So that's me.
I've got a dog, or a doog apparently. So I found out you got a doog. Yeah, it's a Shiba Inu, which apparently is like an internet dog.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's called a doog.
A doog.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got one of those, and it's very naughty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny though. So yeah, dogs.
Dogs. Yeah, that's it.
Dogs. That'll be it.
Okay, Michael. All right. In your opinion, what is oh god? In your opinion, what is the reason that you're not as popular as some band called Depeche Mode? Well, if we knew the answer to that, Michael, we wouldn't be answering this question.
Yeah, and you would have asked me.
I don't know, mate. I really don't know. It's just one of those things, isn't it? I think being in the right place, right time. Who knows? So we try our best, and we're still trying, obviously. So yeah, that's it, really. I can't say much more about that. No. Okay.
Okay. This is from Inga. If you could choose any artist, dead or alive, is that an artist?
No, not the artist.
Oh, I see. Who could work with you or cover remix your songs? Who would it be?
Okay, we've probably got different opinions.
Yeah, we've got probably very different opinions. So shall I start, and then you can say something good then?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'd quite like to work with Tom York, because I think he's pretty cool.
Radiohead.
And he knows timings and stuff that we don't understand.
Proper musician.
I mean, I'd like to work with Morrissey, but he'd probably hate me. So, so no. But yeah, that would be good. Tom York and Morrissey. I'd like to work with them.
Okay.
Go on then. You give the proper answer.
Well, no, it's not a proper answer. I just, I really like this guy, a composer called Craig Armstrong, who does very, very kind of orchestrated or orchestral kind of cinematic music, and I would absolutely love for him to do a cover or do a version of one of our songs. Or
is that the guy that plays the trumpet?
No, that.
Oh, is that Louis Armstrong?
That's Louis Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong. You're
oh yeah,
yeah. So yeah, Craig Armstrong for me. So
okay.
Cecile, hello.
Are you looking skyward? Yes. Well, what does that mean?
I don't really know. I haven't got a telescope.
Optimistic.
No. I'm an optimistic person. I'm a realistic person, possibly, as opposed to pessimistic.
Yeah, I probably look skyward more than you probably do.
You do, Mark.
Yeah. So I'm an optimistic person.
Yeah. Okay.
So between our 2 half cups, we've got a whole one.
We have one. Yeah. What goes next to Bertram? Okay. Will you go on tour with a Pop Techno Berserk? Only you 2, not festival.
Okay.
Well, Bertram, I have no idea where that's come from. So the answer to that is no. I mean, I wouldn't say no to doing a tour with A-Pop because they're really nice guys and we know them very well, etc. But at the moment, no, that's nothing like that at all planned. So no.
Done a song with them once.
We did, yeah. We did, yeah.
That was good.
Cheers.
Enjoyed that. Marcel, Will you be putting the backing projections used during the tour on the forthcoming DVD as separate files? No, no, we probably won't, although the bits of them are included as cuts between in the songs. So sort of yes and no, bits of it, but not all of it. Some of it's kind of original stuff, some of it's bits and pieces I scrounged from various places. So yeah, it's a difficult one. I don't think we could do that really, but I think it has been mentioned, but probably not. Eve, what was your greatest concert you've ever given, which really you will never forget, and why? Okay, so I've got one that I'll never forget.
Okay.
And you can do one.
Okay.
Well, let me do the one that we never forget first.
Okay.
So we did I mean, a few people have heard this already, but
Oh, I see.
do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I know where you're going. Yeah.
So we did. We had some involvement in the States quite a long time ago. No, I think I'm still on the screen.
Okay, you know.
And we did a secret gig. Was it near? Was it New York?
No, it was in Austin.
Austin.
In Austin, Texas.
Yeah, that's because that's where they were from. And we did a secret gig that was so secret that only one person turned up. And we played the entire show. It was a good show.
For one person.
Yeah, so there's 3 of us in the band and one person in the audience. And then we went out to dinner. So that's the one I remember.
Yeah.
What about you?
Okay. Well, not for anything like that, but I think I think the best gigs for me obviously was the classical thing we've done a few years ago. I think that was that just blew my mind really. It was just such a bizarre evening. And we'd done a show the night before as well, just a kind of a normal show, and it was quite interesting because it was just kind of a very shortish set, you know what I mean? So we just put together kind of what we deemed the best songs we had at the moment, and it was just an amazing night, really good. Everything about that night was just stunning. So yeah, that's 2 for me.
Cool. Apparently, I did need to learn Liam right, so perhaps it does end there.
Okay.
From Kitty, do you always wear this cap, Mark, that nobody recognises you without, and so you are able to live a normal life? I tend to always wear it when I'm doing mesh things, yes. But I can probably live a normal life anyway, so that's fine, even if I had it on all the time. So yeah, good. And I do get cold ears.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Right, Wayne Carroll. Do you get pissed off you missed the 80s as an artist? Or do you like the idea you lead that vein now? No, is the answer. Lead, sorry, yeah. No, I pretty much hated everything about the 80s because it was just terrible. There was a kind of like a kind of slightly dark underground scene of bands that I was listening to in the 80s, kind of, you know, DAF, OMD.
Spandau Ballet.
No, Mark, no. And just sort of the kind of darker electronic stuff. The rest of it for me was just horrible. I just didn't really like the kind of the 80s kind of vibe. And even now, you know, I really try to shy away anything that sounds slightly 80s within our music or sounds. I'm the first to take it out because I hate that kind of sort of 80s synth pop band type thing. So no.
Yeah, same with me. I think we probably had a different. I mean, the 80s in England was kind of very new romantic, really.
Yeah.
And obviously, we almost seen the electronic scene as something that wasn't really part of the 80s, although it gets associated with that now. But at the time, it was something a little bit different. I mean, obviously, some of those bands were in the charts, but they kind of quickly went out of the charts, and then we sort of continued to follow what they were doing, whereas everyone else left it all behind. So, I mean, the 80s part of electronic music is quite a short thing, really, in England. But it's, you know, it's been a successful one and a long-lived one.
Right. Lawrence Macker.
Oh,
our good friend Lawrence. Yeah. Hello. What kind of mesh is preferred by the band Mesh? Right, Lawrence, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know that because I did some homework before. So.
Oh, okay.
So he's saying.
Yeah.
what part of Mesh, as in what songs in Mesh, what type of songs
What type of songs? What
is
side?
preferred?
Okay, well, for me, probably the kind of darker, harder sounding songs, I think, would be my kind of idea of Mesh. I mean, if somebody asked me to say what song sums up Mesh the best, I think it would probably be Taken for Granted for me. So it has all the
Yeah.
elements of what we're about in that song. So
Similar for me. I kind of like, I kind of like sort of mid-tempo-y, ballady stuff. That's for me at the moment. Although saying that doesn't really follow from the things I like on the new album. So yeah, all of it really. But it comes and goes with me. Sometimes I like the harder stuff. Sometimes I like the slower stuff. So yeah, that's a good question. Not a very good answer, but yeah, we like all of it,
Yeah.
Lawrence.
Yeah. Right, Jeff Henman. Do you like pie and mash with green liquor?
Yeah, that's a northern thing, isn't it?
Is it? I have
Yeah.
no idea. Okay.
It's actually probably, yeah. I think this is something that Lord Rich would like. It's like a Birmingham thing, I think. I'd have to
Really?
ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, pie and mash is fine. Yeah, I don't know what the green liquor bit is.
No, but I think it's a Midlands thing.
Possibly.
So yeah, well, it's bound to be great anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Michelle McFerrin. I know going on tour gets expensive, but will you ever come back to the States and play some shows? Well, Michelle, we would love to do that. It's very, very expensive. It's not a case of just hopping on a plane, coming over and doing some shows. It has to be a lot of kind of organisation and financial things need to be kind of resolved and kind of in place to actually do it. So, but you know, if the opportunity came along and somebody could put on a tour, or we ended up as a support band on an American tour, yes, we would love to do it again.
I mean, we had a great time the last time we did it, and we did a lot of shows. It was fantastic. But logistically, it's just very difficult because we have to put on a decent show. So that means we need a reasonably large crew. We don't want to cut the set down, as in the musicians. Me and Rich don't really want to do this on our own for a tour. It doesn't look as good. It doesn't sound as good. So it becomes expensive. So you have to do it on a tour bus. Generally, that's the most economical way of doing it. And if you're lucky, you break even. But it's an awful lot of time to take to do something where I mean, it's good promotion, but at the same time, the finances are difficult. So yeah, we'd love to do it, and one-off shows are generally not a problem, but long tours are difficult. But if somebody wants to step forward and put it on, then we'll do it.
Yep.
Michael
Rogers.
What's your favourite colour, and whose shirts do you wear? Okay.
Blue, and my own.
Have you got your own shirt on?
Yeah, this is mine.
Yeah, I've done. And well, strangely enough, I've got my own shirt on as well.
It's not some kind of self-promotion thing, Mark, is it?
No, it's not. I didn't mean that. No, it's got a little.
Okay.
It's got a little Shiba Inu on it, a little Doog.
A Doog.
Yeah. So that's mine.
Anyway, moving on.
Black for me, obviously.
Black. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, okay.
Tim Callahan. Our friend Tim. Why was there never an official video for the Runway single? Well, Tim, funny you should say that. I don't know. No, I think it's down to budgets again, mate. It's very expensive to make a video. We spent a ridiculous amount of money on the Kill You Darlings video because obviously it was the first song from that album, and we thought, we need to kind of make something a little bit special. So yes, that cost a lot of money. And then when it comes to the second one, I think it's just down to budgets and being able to kind of justify this. I mean, there is no real kind of good outlet anymore. I mean, I think it's good being on YouTube, and obviously it gets thousands of kind of views, and it's a good promotion tool. But other than that,
well, that's the answer, really.
That is the answer, I suppose. But yeah,
it's budget. I mean, I think we did one single as a kind of with a video and as a promotion for the album, and the second one was pushed more in the clubs. So, but it's cost is to do it properly. I mean, you can do it You can go budget route, or you can try and do it, with the professional equipment, so it looks the part. But unfortunately, that costs people's time and equipment and whatever. So.
Where are we up?
What are we doing? Where are we? Okay, next page.
Andrew Conforth, Commodore 64 or Sinclair Spectrum? I have no idea. This is a kind of nerdy question for a nerdy kind of guy. So
Sinclair Spectrum.
Okay, let's answer that.
Yeah.
What's below Mark's hat? Mark.
Yes, me.
Okay, I think we've covered.
We've touched on that one already.
Kind of hat thing, I think. Where'll be next? Joshua Hernandez.
That's very good.
You guys come to Mexico someday? Almost like the same answer as the
well, not
US.
quite, because I've just come back from Mexico.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's just come back.
Yeah. I came back from Mexico 2 days ago.
But he didn't take me.
I'm really red. It's really hot there.
But yeah, it's the same kind of answer as the American thing. If something come along and the chances and the money was there and the show was there, we'd come.
Yeah, I mean, with South America, it's not really, I guess, the money so much. It's if we're going to do one show, we probably want to do more. And again, it's a logistical thing. It's we'd probably like to do a few places in South America because it's been we've got a lot of fans in South America distributed around. It'd be nice to do some shows there, but it's a major thing. It's difficult to pop to Mexico and pop back again.
One of the next questions is from Linda Adnil, and she's asking the same about coming to Argentina. So yeah, that's the kind of, if we could kind of tie these together, like Mexico, Argentina, and some kind of South American country.
Some in the middle, because it's quite a long way. It's quite a long way.
Yeah, then we would do it. Yes, I think that's a possibility, and we have talked about this. So there is a good chance it will happen one day. So I've missed one, haven't I?
No.
Scott.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Scott Musial. Is there going to be another album besides the classical one? Okay, well, this is in several stages, this question. So, well, yes, there will be, but it won't be soon.
Yeah. We're going to start. Yeah, we're going to start writing soon. So, yeah.
So it'll be the classical album and the DVD will be the next two releases. Whether we'll do anything EP wise, I don't know. I doubt it. But so Wise Mesh's earlier works have more. Okay, so this is something else. Okay, so this is the same question. Wise Mesh's earlier works had more synths and more complete sounding songs that can be played as an album. Well, that's probably an opinion rather than the fact.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I think it's the opposite to that. I think the songwriting has got better, and I think we're able to put more. I think they're just better rounded songs, and I think they work better. And I think previously we did a lot of messing around, a lot of mucking around. But that's just an opinion, and it's as valid as anything. It seems like the last couple of albums have had tracks that don't really belong, don't sound finished, or are just skippable.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for
well, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe the earlier records probably were in a certain vein, I guess, and we do try and put some different things in. I mean, there's no point in writing the same album time after time. That album's already there, so why write it again? There's no point. So we try and do something a bit different. So there might be a bit more variation on it. I don't think it's one of these. I don't think we really write albums with several different styles on it. A bit of reggae, a bit of blues, jazz, that sort of thing. So we might try that next time.
God, no.
And skippable. I think maybe people that were there at the beginning maybe drift away at the end, and we get new people in, and maybe we've got more in common with people that have joined Mesh recently than maybe at the beginning. But it's difficult. Who knows? Yeah. It's difficult to know. Anyway, we try and move on. Anyway, that's
talk about moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
All right, where are we next? Oh, Tara. Hello, Tara. If you were collectively to be a super group of... No, sorry.
No.
Start again.
If you were collectively to be a group of superheroes, what would your superhero group name be? So I put a little bit of thought into it. So I would say it's the Unpromotables.
For a very good reason, do you think? Yeah.
That's the best we could
I like
come up
that,
with.
yeah.
We
Okay.
thought that was all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you? Oh, well, okay. So, would you rather be taken? This is a good one from Neil Baker. Would you rather be taken to dinner by one 100-foot tall badger, or 100 1-foot tall badgers? So I thought, well,
Neither.
well, no, I think
what the badgers
I
eat?
think one,
Like worms. and
one,
shit.
no, one very large. Well, obviously you wouldn't want to eat anything.
Okay.
But if you have one,
Right.
it would be easier to split the bill, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you've got 100, that's going to be different.
Yeah, that's
'cause they might
far
have
too
all have,
difficult, isn't it?
they might have all have different things.
Yeah, and then they want to pay by kind of card and yeah.
It would take ages to
Yeah,
count, wouldn't it?
never worth.
So I think that's reasonable.
Right. Where are we?
Um,
Who in the band has the worst habits? Don't really know, Martin.
well, I snore quite a lot on the tour bus.
Broadhead.
But well, that's what I've written down here.
He just falls asleep all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, Richard Broadhead. He's got just loads of annoying habits, but you can't really list them all.
Sean, he's always got his phone in his hand. No matter what you're doing, he can be sound checking, and he's still trying to post a selfie or something. I don't know what he does on there. So yeah, he's terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know really they're that bad.
So none of us have got
No.
bad habits. We were only joking, obviously, there. Back to Sean.
Oh yeah.
So this is from Helen Skidmore. Were the new cymbals purchased in Manchester better than the ones that were in the garage in Bristol? Lol.
Right. So anybody didn't know this story, on the start of the tour, we loaded in the very first night in Manchester, and we set everything up, and Sean set all his drums up, only to realise he had no cymbals. Hours before we were about to play, he'd left them in his garage. Schoolboy error. So based on that, he had to run to a shop and spend about £1,200 on new cymbals just for that night. And then we took them on tour with us, obviously. So,
but to help him out,
yeah. Oh, we did, yeah.
we made some cymbals for him out of paper plates.
paper plates, yeah.
They were excellent.
He laughs now.
Yeah.
At the time, he didn't find it stuff.
The funny thing was, he was in the shop and he saw it on Facebook, and we thought we'd found them.
Yeah.
So it's luckily he didn't come back. Anyway, lol. Right. So yes, they were made of metal. That's what I've written down there. Yeah. Mark Allen, Looking Skyward is such an amazing album. How do you follow on from that? Is it a lot of pressure, or do you get invigorated with new ideas?
Yes, it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be hard.
There's no question about it. I think even with the last album, after doing Automation Baby, because it was, kind of well received by everybody, and everybody, really liked it, I felt a massive pressure when we was writing Looking Skyward. And even up to the day it was released, I was convinced it wasn't as good as the previous album. So yes, I think there's always that kind of pressure, but with that pressure, I think that's good. That's what pushes you on. That's what makes you do it, and that's what makes you kind of try harder, isn't it? Really. So yeah. So we'll have to see.
It'll be fine. We just get on with it.
Yeah.
And it'll work out.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
But yeah, it's difficult.
Patrick.
And we are invigorated with new ideas, Ryan.
Yeah, I always. Yeah. Of course.
Patrick, hi guys. What are your favourite bands? Okay, I'll do this one.
Go on then.
So at the moment, I mean, it varies with me. So I'm into Morrissey at the moment. I have been for a few years. Radiohead, I love. And I've I'm into sort of band called Sleaford Mods, which is you hate them.
Yeah, I absolutely hate it. Yeah.
But yeah, those are my sort of three favourites at the moment, I would say. Oh, and Drake. I'm quite into Drake at the moment. Yeah, you don't like that. But I thought Views is an excellent album. So yeah, that's mine. Okay. Yours are going to be different, aren't they?
Yeah, I listened to loads of stuff, really. Loads of kind of varied stuff, old stuff. There's also another female artist called Emma Hewitt. I really like. It's very kind of trancey. Well, she does a lot of trance kind of stuff, but she did do an album on her own, and yeah, really cool. I like that. Yeah, all different things really. I'm not into anything at the moment particularly, but just yeah, desperately trying to look really and try and find something new. So yeah, right, where are we? Brian
Olsen.
Brian Olsen. Will you ever record a 2017 or 2018 version of Time Enough?
It won't be 2017.
No, it certainly won't be 2017. Well, it's one of those things. Every time we do a tour, every time we go out and do some live shows, I usually look back through the old stuff and think, you know, what can we do a new version of? I mean, I think on this tour I've done Waste of Time. So yeah, you never know. We might just for something different to do live, we might just chuck it in and do, you know, obviously back then that was a long time ago when we done those. So all those kind of recordings and sounds were probably long lost. So I would have to record it and reprogram it again. So yeah, it would be a new version. But yeah, who knows?
We'd never find that.
No, we'd never find that.
What's that one? Dr. T's KCS.
Oh god, yeah. Right. Anyway, Sherry Hayes, do you have a favourite music festival? Yeah, possibly.
Favourite? I mean, I enjoy doing Mariluna.
Yeah, Mariluna's good.
We had a particularly good weekend the last time we did Mariluna, which was in August.
Yeah. Terrible weather, but it was a good show. But yeah, they're always good. They're all those big shows are always kind of like it's kind of a challenge, and but it's kind of very rewarding at the same time. You know, when you sort of kind of walk out and there's just a sea of faces and people, and it's always kind of something special. And you know, you feel it's your kind of duty to try and get those people kind of clapping and kind of into what you're doing. So yeah, all the festivals are really good. So
Baz was a good festival, wasn't it? That's the one.
Baz,
yeah.
Baz Festival. Yeah, we've done it. Yeah, small festival in London. That was good.
That should be supported. That's a good.
Yeah.
Any plans to play shows in the US anytime soon? I think we've sort of done that one. Yes, we'd love to do that. You know, logistics allowing.
Sorry, I'm ahead of myself now.
Yeah,
go on then. You can read your own question.
Okay,
from Agnes de France.
Agnes de France. Mark, did you take singing lessons at some point, or have you just improved through learning by doing? Because I think your singing live is great now and so much better than some years ago. So that's fair enough. Sorry, I hope nobody is upset when I say that. I only speak of live performance where there's a huge difference between now and then. Okay, yeah, but that's kind of fair enough. That's true, really. Live singing gets easier over time. I think your voice does change, and I think you know, I mean, as long as you can bear to listen to some of the recordings, you kind of understand where the problems are. And I think it's a confidence thing, and I think it's a voice strength thing, and and it's trying not to overthink it, and it does get easier. And I think physically, I think the voice does get stronger, or your lungs get stronger, or something changes over the years. Practice as well, I guess. It's just practice. I mean, I can hear when it's going wrong.
Along with the audience.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the audience. Yeah. And I can hear it when I listen to it back. So yes, it's possible always to make a change for the better. I think as long as you can hear it. If you can't hear it, that's when you're in trouble, I think. So yeah, fair enough.
Jesse McLeod. Are you planning on?
No, you missed one.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
Ulf. Oh, have you got a different sheet? No, at the top.
Yeah, I know. This was joint. Sorry, we're having a bit of a discussion now.
That's one question on the sheet on this end.
Anyway, are you planning on stopping in Vancouver, Canada on your next tour? Again, same answer. If we come over it, then we'd love to do it, mate. So, yeah, watch this space one day, hopefully.
Yeah, and we tend to tie the Toronto things into New York and stuff. So Chicago, so it's not impossible to do those. That's certainly easier than an entire US tour. So we on that page now?
Yep.
Release date for the live CD. Haven't we done that already from Ulf?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
next year, mate.
Yeah, next year.
When we finished it.
It's kind of on its way.
Yeah.
The video's probably 80% done. The music is 50% done. So it's all in the works.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the works.
Kenny Carmichael, is work being carried out in the background regards to new material to follow looking skyward?
It is for me, but you're kind of other ways engaged at the moment, aren't you? Really, with the live stuff. So I am writing things at the moment. It's mostly music at the moment, just ideas and some lyrics and some ideas. I've probably done 4 or 5. Whether any of them will pan out, I don't know. But yeah, I'm playing around with new equipment, as is Rich. So
that helps.
Yeah,
buying new bits of kit and kind of new sounds and stuff. It's kind of slightly inspiring. So yeah, and I think that there's a kind of lull period after an album comes out and you tour it and you do what you got to do to kind of promote it. There's a kind of period where you don't want to write, and then all of a sudden, and I think that's about now, you feel inspired and you want to get on and start writing some new stuff. So I think around Christmas, I will probably start getting back into kind of putting some things together, and we will start writing. So yeah. Dave Sewell, apparently. Have you heard of him?
No, I've seen him at the pub once.
Yeah. What's your favourite mesh and non-mesh song? Okay, for me, it's hard to say one. I think.
Well, you've got to. That's the
question. No, I can't. All right. I think possibly for me, Before This World Ends is my favourite song. Just because it's the kind of simplicity of it and the kind of sentiment behind it. So yes, that's my favourite song. Non-mesh song? Oh God. Non-mesh song, I would say Only You by Yazoo. I think that was one song that kind of really inspired me to kind of make music and to buy a synthesizer back in the day. So that one song was enough to kind of, convince me to go out and part with some hard-earned cash and buy a keyboard.
Was it one of these?
No, it wasn't one of these, Mark. Is that one there? See the Pro One there? This is the first thing I ever bought. So yeah. So that's my favourite 2 songs.
I'll show you that here. It's cool.
All right, Mark.
For me, I think. I love. The Yazoo thing's great. Yeah, I think that was a really good one. I think those albums were pretty influential on me. I think the song that I kind of most respect and I think is the cleverest thing is Paranoid Android by Radiohead. I love that. I just think it's really clever and really just well put together, and there's just some great ideas in there.
Favourite mesh song?
Yeah, well, I can do that in a minute.
Oh, all right.
Because it was, I can do it the other way around. That was a non-mesh, so I didn't actually.
Yeah.
The one I kind of play the most on the new album is My Protector. I really like that. And as for kind of lyric-wise, I think Four Walls I really like. Just for the lyrics, really. And it kind of reminds me of recording it and things like that. So as we had quite a good laugh doing that particular mix in the depths of Bristol somewhere.
yeah.
Remember that? We got bite nipped.
Yeah.
So yeah, those 2.
Okay, where are we next?
Katie Williamson.
Go on.
Oh,
right.
Would you ever tour the States again with Division and Iris? Well, again, yes, of course.
Yes.
Why not? We had a great time.
It was a very good time. Yeah, it was very, very funny. And they are both obviously Division and Iris good friends, and they were a good laugh. So,
I mean, if you want to know how enjoyable that was, there's on YouTube. If you look up Legends of Synth Pop Diary, I think it's Diary tour.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Then there's like a 7-part diary of that tour. If you haven't seen it, it's quite funny. Matthew Holbrook, heard of him?
Yeah, I know Matthew.
Yeah. Is it true an album has a link to its predecessor, such as the point at which it falls apart, linking to the lyric? At what point do you give up?
Yes.
On In This Place Forever.
Yes, back then it was kind of, we thought it was quite a clever thing. So yes, the last lyric of whichever one it is, I forget which one. Point. No, in this place forever is, at what point do you give up? And the answer to that was the next album, the point at which it falls apart. So we were going to kind of carry on with that theme, but it kind of didn't happen, did it? But
No.
we thought it was quite cryptic and quite clever at the time. So yes, I'm surprised you even knew that. So
That's very good.
yeah, well done.
Yeah, I mean, there's also, I guess, you know, from ideas point of view, there is a certain overlap with these things anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, often there's the first tracks we work on for the next album could possibly have been on the last album, because we may not have finished certain things and stuff like that. So there's a certain amount of overlap anyway. They're not necessarily always completely new starts. I think one of the tracks on the new album could well have been on the last one. Königstein, Hamburger Königstein, Andreas Hein. Go on.
When does the album come out? I think the Hamburg. That's going to be the DVD kind of thing. So I think we've touched on that. It will be next year, but we're working on it. What's up with the sweatshirt for wintertime in your new shop? Well, everybody, there will be a new shop. We're waiting for it to be launched any second now. I don't know what's happened. That's down to our kind of technical behind the scenes staff who are working on it. But there is some new merchandise, some new ideas and new bits and pieces. So yeah, I think it'll probably be this week sometime. So keep your eye out, and the new shop will be up online. So
if they haven't broken the internet by the time they finish.
Yeah, I think they broke the internet, basically trying to make it work. So yeah. Right, where are we? Gary Pitchford.
All right. When do you next tour together with your friends from of Division? That's still Andreas.
Oh, okay. I don't know, mate. To be honest,
we don't know.
No, we've got no. At the moment, we've got no shows planned at all at the moment. So, but that's not to say. Yeah, we're having a bit of a break because I think the kind of last tour was quite.
Just look at us.
We're only 28. Yeah. The last tour was quite difficult. So not difficult, but long. So we just decided we needed a bit of a break to get on with kind of writing and all that kind of stuff. So
Gary Pitchford, any plans for a tour in 2018? Do you gig in your hometown? Well, we just kind of answered that really. At the moment, there's no plans for a tour in 2018. That's not to say there won't be. But at the moment, we don't know, because it kind of depends on what goes on.
You get gig offers come in, and then we may change our mind. So who knows?
Do you gig in your hometown? Yes, we do, but only really now as part of a tour.
Yeah, it's either usually the first date or the last date. Logistically, it makes sense. To start in Bristol, so all the kind of equipment's there. We all kind of have a practice day here or a kind of pre-production day, and then go on tour. So usually that's the case, or we usually end up here, you know what I mean, on the last date. So Michael, is that what we're up to? Yeah. What is your motivation to tour with your music after 20 years? Yeah, thanks, Michael. I think the motivation, I do enjoy it. It's brilliant. Touring is one of the best things you'll ever do. I know it's hard, but it's just such a good vibe. The whole thing, I really enjoy it. It's good, and you release a new album, and that's what's expected of you. As soon as you release an album, you go out and you promote it, and that's part of the whole being in a band thing, isn't it? So that is the motivation. I think after spending however long it takes, 18 months recording and writing songs, you want to kind of a test ground, and your test ground is the tour, isn't it? So that's the motivation.
I think a lot of the songs I think they come to life after you've toured them. You breathe in a new bit of life into it, and you kind of giving them their personalities, if you like. And it's good fun. It's hard work, and for me, it's quite a barrier to get to. So if a tour's announced, there's kind of almost like a feeling of dread, but then when I'm there, it's fine. It's just you just know there's a lot of work coming in. There's a lot of learning and a lot of so it's a big thing. It's saying yes to something that is going to give you loads of grief, but when it's done and when you're doing it, it's good fun. And it's one of the best things about doing this, really.
Anders Lind, any plans to visit Sweden again? Perhaps bring along empathy test. Right. Well, that goes without saying, the whole touring thing again. Bring along empathy test. Well, trouble is with empathy test is they've got to be in bed by 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
because they're so young. So
they don't like drinking.
Yeah, they don't like drinking or having a good time.
And they're not very good with chili sauce.
No, terrible band to tour with. So that's never going to happen.
Yeah, so they were
Honestly.
great. They were great guys on the tour. And yeah, who knows what happens.
And they guys are going out on their own tour this year. So
yeah, well, that's been a good thing for them. Just going out on their own tours and forging their own way. So I don't think they'd want to come touring with us again. I think they got their own thing going on now. So it's good for them.
Yeah,
good for them because they're great guys and girls. Lindsay Hemming. When you are not on the road or recording, how do you like to spend your time?
Okay.
Well, I quite like doing music, to be honest, in my spare time. And we do, when we're together, we do a bit of downhill mountain biking, which is horribly dangerous, but good fun.
And I've started dabbling again with kind of riding motorbikes, doing motocross. Not in a kind of massive way, but I used to ride years ago, and I've just got another bike again, just for pleasure, really. So yes, it's usually some kind of two-wheeled activity I usually go partake in. So
I got a track car that I take out every now and again. I haven't been out this year, but that's a good thing for me. I have got a bike as well, but I'm not quite as brave as him, so I haven't been out this year yet, have I? But I will do.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll both be having broken legs very
Yeah,
soon.
there may never be another album.
But it's basically cars, motorbikes, bikes, music.
Yeah, that's it. Dog walking, Mark.
Dog walking.
Yes,
we do a lot of
dog walking. We're like two old codgers. We go dog walking.
Dog walking.
Yeah.
Walking it. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Oud? Is that Oud?
Oud
Kiddo. What usually comes first, music versus lyrics, or does it vary? Well, let's tackle that bit first.
Okay.
So
Both.
I think probably almost exclusively it's music in some form or other. If I'm writing something where I'm doing the music, I'll usually start with the music. And if you're doing some music, then obviously I start with that. So I tend not to write anything.
Not like poetry, is it? It's not like you write poems and you put music to it. No. It's usually the kind of music that kind of creates the atmosphere, I think.
Yeah, and there's kind of a reason for that. I like to use the music as the tempo of the words, if that makes sense. So, the flow of lyrics it can be different depending on what the music's underneath. I think you could do it the other way around. I guess you could write the words and then put the music underneath to the beat of the lyrics, but I think there'd be a tendency then to always settle into some sort of pattern. I don't really like that. So I try and use the music, and we'll have a piece of music and I might cut it up and use it differently to the way it was intended, but essentially I find it easier to get ideas from listening to the music, and I think that works quite well as a thing. But that might be just the way our brains work, really. We might be just a bit weird.
Yeah.
Do you have pauses in your creative process? Yes, we're having one now.
Yeah. Or writing's block or whatever it is. Yeah, I get that a lot. So yeah.
Like you have a melody or text in your head for years, but you park it until you feel it's time for it to come to life. Well, I do write a lot of things down as they come up, and then I'll put them in my phone or write them down somewhere, and I will use those for the album. But it's usually just phrases or words or just little ideas. Not really an idea for a song, but just a word or something, or just an interesting phrase. And I think that works quite well. And I'll come back to it later, not really knowing where it came from. And sometimes I use those. So that sort of thing is quite useful. It's always thinking, but not necessarily doing.
Mm-hmm. Corey Hennes.
He's with Katie.
He's with Katie, apparently. Okay. I'd love to see you over here in the US, but maybe with VNV Nation. Okay. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, again, same answer to all the US questions. Yeah, we'd love to do it and maybe come over. And yeah, VNV Nation, yeah, great band. They're kind of friends. We've known them for a very, very long time. So maybe, yeah, possibly. Kirsten Reinhardt, any plans to tour the US? Apparently, we need to go to the US more, I think. It seems to be a kind of reoccurring question here. Okay, right. Who's next?
Steve Maddox.
Steve Maddox. Do we know this guy?
No.
Okay. If you could choose any artist stroke band to cover one of your songs, which artist stroke band would it be? And which song would you would want them to cover and why? Well, I kind of touched on that earlier, I think, with this kind of Craig Armstrong guy. I'd love to see him just pick a song, one of ours, and do something along those, maybe kind of Before This World Ends or something like that. I think he could make that just sound stunning. So, yeah. So, that's my answer. What are you doing?
Are you going as long as the Rolling Stones?
Oh, I see.
Sorry, that's quite cool.
Sorry, we should read.
Yeah, we should read these.
We'll come back to these.
I don't know if you can.
posting?
Can you scroll them?
I don't know. Let's have a go.
No, you might cut it. Oh,
Yeah, we can.
All right,
We'll come back and answer some.
We'll come back
of these,
to that. Yeah,
coming
we're
in
not
at the
being
same
rude.
time.
It's just that we've got quite a lot to get through here.
Okay.
Steve Maddox, did we answer that question?
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
you might
Yeah.
moan or
Steve,
something.
he's just- Move on.
pie and mash and green liquor.
Okay.
Okay, so what role do you play in designing CD artwork and apparel? Also wondering about a US tour. We'll forget that last bit. So me personally, it hasn't always been the case, but the last 2 albums I've done the design to a point, and the photography for it. So the covers. We had a couple of ideas for this last album, and to be honest, we kind of went out together and took photographs, and but we did everything this time. We did all the photographs for the internal stuff, the front covers, even the band photographs we did ourselves this time, in the same place that we took the photographs for the album. But again, it's quite a hard and long drawn out thing, and it doesn't always work. So you have to start again. It's quite difficult. You get an idea and you think this is good, and then it doesn't really work out. So you have to start again. So it's a bit like the music sometimes. It's difficult. But yeah, we all got involved in that. And t-shirts, well,
basically comes out of the artwork ideas, really. So.
Yeah. So we've got some great guys, Tony and Martin and Trish and Guido, and we all kind of work on that stuff between us. It's been mostly them, I think, in the last lot, but obviously we all chip in with that. So we've got some good people working on that, but none of us are kind of professionals. We do it because we like doing it, and we're kind of all right at it. But but it's just sometimes it's better to do these things yourself, and it might not be, the work might not be world class, but it's part of you and it's part of the band. So I think it works well.
Nadine Roggo, is it Roggo?
Yeah. See.
Were you influenced by another band? Yeah, we're influenced by loads of bands. I think that's just any band would say they're influenced by whatever they listened to when they were growing up. All these kind of artists that back in the day that I was listening to has obviously had an influence on what we do now. I mean, it's what, like I said earlier with the Yazoo thing. I think it was them that made me buy a synthesizer. So it was listening to kind of music like that, along with OMD and all these kind of early kind of pioneering electronic bands that kind of influenced us. And, that probably obviously comes out in what we do now. But there is a point where you try to kind of like forge your own sound and make it sound like Mesh, you know what I mean?
And that's kind of more difficult than than it sounds. I mean, it's, you know, if you are influenced by something, I mean, most people get into music because they like another band. Now, you know, that is a very difficult thing to get rid of. And you don't necessarily want to get rid of it, but you don't want to be copying something because it's already been done. So it's hard. You like, I mean, particularly with what we did, it was almost like a little genre within the 80s, like I said before. But there was something there that sounded like it was like a type of music. And I think, unfortunately, you get pigeonholed a little bit if you try and jump into that arena, mostly by people that don't really know the difference between certain bands that to a casual observer might seem the same. So yeah, it's a tricky one. But yeah, I mean, all sorts of things. I mean, early stuff, OMD, I say, Depeche Mode, Erasure, Yazoo, all these bands that were kind of making music before we started. You know, and that kind of went on through all kinds of things. You know, there was some good stuff in the 90s as well. There's a lot of electronic music now. A lot of dance music is pretty cool. I mean, even things like, you know, like Rich has been listening to sort of Deadmau5 and stuff like that, you know, and that's almost exists outside of dance music. It's like it is a dance music genre, but he's got something different about him that kind of marks him out from other sort of dance projects, and it's little things like that, those subtleties that you pick up a little bit here and a little bit there, and there's still, you know, really clever guys and still people that I think have got a similar attitude to us, you know what I mean? Right, sure.
You can read that.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. Careful.
Okay. Isn't it about time? Oh, this is from Darren Fricker.
Well done, Darren.
Isn't it about time your record company pumped some more money into promoting you guys? More into full UK tours, European tours. As DM are splitting up again, you should get more successful. I did speak to Sean in Barcelona before the gig about this.
Sean never mentioned it. That is a difficult question. I think there's limited budgets.
It's unfair,
and I think our record company don't do a bad job. I mean,
they do a great job.
I remember, this is going to be a bit of a sad story, but I remember sitting in a restaurant with our record company and the big boss of the record company, and they pretty much, you put me off, and they pretty much kind of said, we're going to get you guys into the top 20 in the album charts. And I sat there thinking, yeah, I've heard this so many times, you know, whatever. Yeah. And I just took it kind of on the chin. And I thought, yeah, that's never going to happen. And to be fair to them, they did. And I think that's probably, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, we write songs and we do all the kind of hard work and we do all the kind of, you know, the making of the album, but the promotion is quite a difficult thing to do in this day and age. And to get it promoted to the point where it charted at number 12 was just, you know, it blew us away, to be honest. We were never expecting that. So,
you know, they do, you know, I mean, there is a tendency for people, I think, in our position to go down the funded route. And I think that's, you know, for us, that's not what we want to do at the moment. There's nothing wrong with it. It's probably the modern way to do it. But we like working with a record company, and I think it gives you an outside perspective on things. And I think sometimes you want to do things now. You want to do this now, and actually sometimes it's not the right time to do that. And you know, they've done a fabulous job on artwork and, you know, box sets and, you know, vinyl and things like that. And it's an awful lot of work. And to promote it in the way that they've done it, you know, I don't think we've got any complaints.
And you know, and the other thing is there's not a huge amount of money in music anymore. You know, I mean, it's quite a sad state of affairs, but you know, there is a limited
in that
budget.
side of music. I mean, in the sort of physical sales.
Yeah, and that's how they get their money back. So at the end of the day, there is a balancing act of spending on promotion and how much you're likely to get back from that promotion. So you know, I think they've done a reasonable job. Yeah, of course we'd like more promotion, and you know, but it's just how it is, isn't it? You know, I think radio is the key, and that's more important. Just getting people to hear you is the big thing, and that's just such a difficult thing to do. There's not many kind of radio DJs that kind of are willing to kind of stick their neck out and play new bands. Actually, hello Dave, just Mr. Charles has just joined us just a minute ago. So, and he's a guy who actually did kind of, you know, put his kind of, you know, neck on the line and play new music. And you need to find more and more people like that who are willing to kind of promote you in that way. So yeah, it's not always down to money, as much as, you know, money does get you a long way. It's not all about that. So,
you know, we've gone down that route before with the money, and it doesn't solve everything. It helps.
I mean, we were signed to kind of Sony Music at one time, and that was obviously big budgets and kind of, you know, one of the biggest companies in the world, and it didn't really help, I think. But
it helped to a point.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, it for the amount of money that's spent, it doesn't necessarily give you the same amount of lift in your sort of public presence. So yeah, they've done a great job. We can't complain about anything. I think it is what it is, you know. You know, and the fault's got to rest, you know, with us as well. You know, I mean, if the, you know, the presence of the band is less than, you know, we'd like.
Right, Rebecca, what is the craziest thing you've ever experienced during a tour?
Is it time for the autograph book story?
Oh, really?
Do you think not?
No,
we won't know.
It's bad taste, Mark.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you...
Oh no, you could add it to the end. Okay. Our bus caught on fire in America. That was quite an experience. We were all driving along like you do in your tour bus, and we kept on telling the driver that we could smell smoke, and he was having none of it until the point it got unbearably smoky, and we pulled over, and we were actually on fire.
The point at which it got too smoky.
Yeah, it's a good name for an album. So yeah, that was kind of
carry on. Sort of.
Yeah, it's kind of that was quite an experience, really. But go on then. You're gonna have to.
Well,
do it. You've started. Everybody's going to be thinking, what's the
Yeah, I just summarise it, shall I?
No, you're gonna have to tell it now.
Oh, I don't have to tell it. So anyway, we were approached by a young lady in America once, who had an autograph book. Like people press flowers. Well, she had an autograph book where she pressed used condoms, which was nice. And so the little signature there, the condom there. Obviously, we didn't sign it.
No, I think we actually ran away, didn't we?
Yeah, that was pretty scary, actually. That. Yeah. But there you go. That's what's out there. I think there's probably loads of things.
Yeah.
Neil eating a sponge once for breakfast.
Yeah.
That's quite funny. Anyway.
Right. So that's all those questions, Mark. So we could kind of answer some of these.
Well, we'll go through some of them.
Okay.
As long as it's not a US tour.
Why don't they go back any further than that? I can't go back.
I don't know.
Perhaps they've bombed out now. The song Iris is a masterpiece. Too bad it's too short and without a voice. Gabrielle.
Well, so the Iris, so that's one that Rich did. But I extended it for the tour, and I've added lots of bits and pieces to it. So it's now at least 3 times longer, and it should be on the DVD. So it was a good excuse to buy the DVD.
And it was just a short piece of music. When I was actually recording the album, or mixing the album, I should say, I stayed in Kerpen, and I stayed in a kind of very small bed and breakfast. And I sat there one evening with my iPad, just writing some ideas. And the room I stayed in,
that's right. Yeah.
They were all named after flowers, and the room I stayed in was called Iris. So. That's why it's nothing to do with the American band Iris. So it was just to do with this.
Who are great.
They are great, yeah. It's just to do with that. So
I like this one.
What's that?
This is for Marinaville. Mark, did you write Never Meet Your Heroes to stop people sending you friendship requests? I like that. That's cool. No, I didn't. But yeah, yeah, I don't have many people on my Facebook.
Or many
so,
friends. That's what
I
was
haven't got
gonna
many
say.
friends.
No.
Okay, why are you the best band in the world? Well, that's
I don't
from
know.
Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
We never heard of him or met him ever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Cheers,
How's your new Merc? Has he got no? No, he ain't got a new Merc, has he?
mate.
No, that was someone else. No, still got the red one. Hello from Hong Kong. Hello, Hong Kong. Best music. Thank you very much. Hello from Hamburg. Hello, Jess. Will you publish and make available your music and sheet music? Well, we've got some of that music on the classic album.
Yes.
So that will come with
Actually,
sheet music.
We should be promoting that, really, because that is the next thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
so, yeah, we have got this. Obviously, probably most people know we've done this concert with a full orchestra in Leipzig, and it was recorded, and it's obviously been mixed. So we've done 5 tracks on the night live, but to kind of make it an album, we decided that we was going to kind of add some other bits. So there's some studio recordings of 3 other songs. Is it 3? Yeah, 3 other songs that were done with like a string quartet, a piano version, and another. I think it was another string quartet. I think it was. So yeah, that's going to be available on the 24th. So that's coming up, and I haven't actually seen it, but I have been told by our record company it looks absolutely stunning. They've done like a box set, and within the box set you get like a book, and within the book is all the proper sheet music for those songs. There's obviously loads of photographs from that night, so yeah, it's going to be quite a spectacular release, I think. And even he was kind of raving about it. Our record company boss, he said it just looks fantastic. So yes, that's coming out very soon. So.
As for Becky, sorry to hear that, Becky. I hope the music helped. But thanks for getting in touch. Hello from Russia.
Hello, Russia.
Hello from Wolfsburg. Been enjoying your music since 1997. Keep on going. We will try.
Living.
Looking at us, possibly not.
Oh my God, Andrew, I love keytars. Has Mesh ever used one or planned to? I think Rich would look what? Oh, look cool with one. Well,
what's that?
Eh?
What's a key? Oh, one of those?
Like...
No.
No.
Well, we actually Neil used one.
We did have one, yeah. Right in the early days, we kind of had one, and we decided that it looked terrible, so we sprayed it and put a load of Russian writing on it and try and make it look cool, and it still didn't look cool. So that's never going to happen. Sorry, Andrew.
Remember hearing Headstone as this is from Mark. Remember hearing Headstone as a demo on the free CD with the Music Max. That was future music. Thinking it was great, and then never rediscovering new music until Observation Baby. It's the story of our lives. But yeah, thanks very much.
Yeah, okay.
The English accents. These are unusual English accents we've got.
Yeah.
Make our band sound different. We went turn down. Guitars. No, we're not doing that. You guys ever tour with side work which differs from Mesh, such as FLA Delirium? Not really. Sometimes, not really. You do a lot of remixes, don't you?
Yeah, I do a lot of remixing for people, but
I do a remix every now and again.
Yeah,
probably once every 2 years.
So, I guess it's kind of, and generally when I remix, I strip everything out and I program the music from scratch. So you could kind of say it's practically me with another singer, but yeah.
Obviously, I've done some guest vocals, but not a huge amount. Okay, Mexico is your home. Excellent. It was my home last week. It was excellent. The box set designs of your record company are great. Thank you. You see, that's what we want to hear. You don't remind me of anyone. Oh, I see. Synth bands rarely sound the same. Although my hands are tied, really moves along like an Erasure track. There's even a keyboard bit. So, yep. Cool. Thank you very much, Simon. Greetings from Argentina.
Yay.
Hi, Veronica. Is there a Christmas surprise planned, like Delamitri cover years ago? Yes, possibly. Who knows? I'll get on to that.
Yeah.
Do Erasure now feeling old? Yeah. You are. Your sound's amazing. Too bad that the music in today is a kind of a joke. Well, that's kind of, I guess the people today wouldn't say the same thing. Make songs like V&V Nation. Is Is that a question or a statement?
That's a statement.
Oh, carbon. Make it a bit harder and you number one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. We'll give that a go. A bit of EBM.
Paul Lewis. Hello,
Paul
Paul.
Lewis.
All right, mate. Is the classical album coming out digitally? Yes, indeed it is. Get and buy it, man. Stop downloading things.
Hi, Evelina. Hi, James, if you're there. Mark's, is that Mark? Mark Sobey.
Yeah.
Shaq from Across the Pond, USA. Chills Jill. Andrew Sager's just laughing. Hopefully see you in Stockholm soon from Sorry. Paul Lewis. Hi, Paul. Come on, little tour in Germany next year, please. Well, maybe we'll see.
Richard, have you ever been given any dog training tips from Mark?
Dog training?
No.
You don't need them, do you?
No.
Yeah, my dog needs training.
Yeah.
In fact, we had the dog behaviourist round last night, and he left. He was bitten within 7. No, he wasn't. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'm not very good at dog training, but I'm getting there. Simon Hayward. Yeah. What's he got to say? At what point do you get oiled up and get grinding? Do I need to send my credit card details? Yeah, thank you, Simon.
Yeah, I think you're on the wrong site, mate, to be honest.
Yeah. You need
synth porn.
Synth cats in space porn.
Yeah.
That's what you need. How about gigging Tel Aviv? Again, this has come up in the past. We'd love to do it. And I hope that happens at some point. Hi guys, have you ever considered turning into a more rock orientated band? No, we can't really play guitars very well.
No.
Hello from Pittsburgh, I guess that is. Will you be visiting the States anytime soon? Done that.
We'd like to. Yes.
Michael, did you see a Roland Boutique SH101 in the background? Yes, I just bought it. It's very nice. We could do, while Rich is answering the questions, I'll do an unboxing for you.
Oh God, it's like one of those terrible videos on YouTube.
An unboxing video. Yeah.
Do you plan to play any more oldies in your concerts? I think I kind of covered that. When we do touring, I do try to do some old stuff and kind of bring it up to date and do something different with it. So yes, that's probably very, very likely. Paul, are you? Paul, are you still in touch with Neil? Mr. Taylor, yes. I did see him actually. I don't see him very often, but I saw him about a month ago. So we are still in touch with him. So yeah. Okay, good to see you both. Good to see you, mate, as well. Manuela's still on about Carbon by VNV Nation.
Yeah,
okay,
it's great.
Yeah, it's a good song. Yeah,
but I wouldn't be able to remember it.
No. Okay.
Then Mark,
where do you find inspirations for lyrics, Mark? From Frederick.
Was that? Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know. Music, and things happen. I don't really know where it comes from, to be honest. It's a bit of a mystery, which is worrying slightly, because it might disappear at any moment. But anything. Could be anything. Normal things. News, friends, stories, things they make up. Just words sometimes.
Henrik, which is the framed music in the background? Oh, I see. Oh, right, yeah, it's a piece of music by this Craig Armstrong guy, a track called Crash, unbelievably. And he signed it for my birthday, so it's very nice. Thank you very much.
Favorite movie? Favorite movie.
I don't tend to watch very many films, but
it's not Star Wars, is it?
No, it's not Star Wars. I just let everybody know now. I've never seen Star Wars. Okay. It's just not real, is it, Mark?
It's not real.
So many people going about Star Wars. I'm sorry. No, you need to get a life. Get out. It's not real. It's not a documentary. It's not a religion either.
Yeah.
So okay.
It's got its own language.
That's
Star Trek. Yeah. I think Alien is my favourite movie. I think I've seen it so many times I couldn't probably watch it anymore. But Driver I quite liked as well. I watched La La Land the other day as well. That's quite good.
Yeah?
Dancing
Okay.
one, yeah. It's musical. Yeah, you quite like
No
that.
Hello, Robert from Sweden.
Hello, Sweden.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Which
We'd love to hear more analog synth sounds. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
once I switch this baby on,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, I've switched it on already. It's very cool. Greetings from Sweden. Any plans to tour Canada? I think we've been there. Yes, we'd love to. Nice to see you. Morrissey album on
That's
Friday.
a good question there from Trevor. With all the advances in music technology, do you find creating these days more easier, or do you suffer with too many options?
I think it's perfect at the moment.
It is, but yeah, I think there is a risk of kind of, you know, when I'm looking for things, I'm always loading up different plugins and trying to find different kind of synths to play around with, and you find yourself kind of disappearing into kind of like nowhere land. You know what I mean? And you spend so much time trying to find these things. So there is a risk of having too much option. It's a bit like kind of having modular synths. We've done some stuff on the album with a modular synth, and I think we spent about 4 hours trying to create this sound. And to be honest, it is the best sound on the album, but it's just painful. I think there is a risk of kind of just spending far too much time with the technology rather than actually kind of creating music. So it's a bit of both. I think there's this.
Yeah, I think it kind of it was always difficult to start with, because you had to go through so much hassle just to even record anything in time. Because I mean, some of the stuff we did early, we weren't even using. We were using MIDI, but we were also using CV and gate and all. I mean, those kind of things are difficult to do. The very early stuff, we didn't really have MIDI, did we? I mean, I started with just CV gate.
Yeah.
And just to get anything recorded, I mean, things like vocals and audio recording are so much easier now. We were using tape on the first albums, and you got 8 tracks, and you don't really want to bounce anything because the quality goes. So you're trying to be creative with samplers, and so I think you've got a lot more options now. And I think generally to get anything good, a good start, I think it's a lot easier. You just have a lot of options, but that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Where are we going now?
I was just laughing at Mark. How long is your forehead?
It's quite long,
Yeah.
as you can see.
Yeah, it goes right to the top of his
yeah,
head.
it's actually, I wouldn't have to say that if it was your forehead there. Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. When does that stop? When does
Really
the back of your head start?
Right. I think we're done, Mark. I think that's good.
Yeah, let's get this.
I know there's still some questions coming in. Favorite mesh tracks or track? We've done that. I think mine's Before This World Ends and Taken for Granted. Oh, do you have a desert island synth? Okay, that's a good question. Now I like that one.
Synth you can do everything with.
Yeah, I think my go-to choice of synth is probably the Access Virus. I know a lot of people use it, but yeah, it's an amazing bit of kit. Really, it's one of the kind of like synths that cover everything for me. You know what I mean? It's kind of really hard sounding, or you can get some kind of really good old analog sounds out of it. So I must admit, I haven't used it for a lot, to be honest.
I take
or for a while. So. Omnisphere, yeah, that's another thing.
But you'd have to take a laptop as well. So you have to have a desert island with a laptop
and with speakers and mixing. Yeah,
Well,
it's not going to happen on a desert island.
The whole thing sounds ridiculously impractical, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, there's Guy. Thank you, Guy, for everything you do. When are you going to come to Tel Aviv?
Rich, if you had to choose, would you join Luke and Han solo or the dark side? I'd join Spock. Isn't he in Star Wars or not?
No.
Oh, right. I think that's a loaded question because you know I don't like Star Wars, so yeah, whatever.
It's not because you don't like it. You haven't
I
seen
just haven't seen it. I'm not interested.
You might like it if you went there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. We'll call Steve. Third time lucky, otherwise.
Okay.
Copy and paste one last time. We saved the video for later. Oh yeah, we need to save it somehow. I don't know how we do that.
Paul Masters, do you ever wear mesh t-shirts yourselves? No, that's the world's worst faux pas. I think anybody in a band wearing their own t-shirt should be shot. Okay.
That's a very extreme view.
No, so no, we don't, mate. It's fantastic to see other people wearing them, but no, I don't wear them myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we're done.
I think we haven't done bad.
No. Well, thanks very much for all the questions. It's been quite an experience. This, I think, I've never done this before. Perhaps we'll do it again.
Yeah.
So, but thank you very much for joining us. Yeah, thanks very much for the support, because obviously you guys tuning in know about us and know who we are. So yes,
don't kill them.
So yeah, thanks very much, and yeah, keep spreading the word. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.